Women come, oh, I lose my hair, my nails are brittle, my nails are not shiny anymore. Oh, and by the way, I never want to have sex with my husband. Your reproduction is not separate system. We don't have a system that's separate from the body. It's all one system. It's one coherent system. Your fertility, it's a side effect of your well-being. You're only going to be able to do this when you have abundance in energy. The body is a suit of your soul. So if you don't take care of the suit, soul will not be happy.
Hello and welcome back to the 5 hour method. By now, you understand the 5 hour method. You know, reveal, remove, replace, restore, and regulate. But knowing the framework is one thing, living it without burning out is another. Which is why, in today's conversation with Dr. Marina Yuabova, we are talking about what it actually looks like to live this work every day in real life. Dr. Yuabova, are you ready?
Absolutely. Of course, I'm ready. So, the framework is there to create an order of things. So, firstly, as soon as people come into our service, and again, it's white glove, it's concierge, it's all for you understanding your system. So, we can guide you through the ways, firstly, you understanding yourself. It's your body. So, how can I teach you and my staff so you can hear yourself and understanding what this body telling you before you need to go and see a doctor when things get really bad, you know? So it's a lot of education. It's understanding the patterns, understanding the story, and then unveiling and correcting. So first 6 months, a lot of work. No matter how healthy people think they are, nobody ever goes to see a doctor because they feel great. Okay.
Yes.
Something is happening. They know they're not their best. They're not feeling the same way they were in their early 20s. Now they're in their mid 40s. They know something is changing. Energy is not all great. People know, we know the difference. But what we want, everybody wants to be forever living, forever thriving, never aging, and always functioning, right? This is what we want. So once the individual comes, it's like understanding and going through all the 5 R's, understanding, clearing, connecting, educating. And when everything is done, the next step is support. People have so much knowledge. We've done so much work. It's like going to school. We have an educational platform. Patients on this platform learning patterns, learning, oh, I'm constipated. I'm also tired. What does this mean? Or maybe it means that my thyroid is not okay. So for people who are changing seasons, right? Now I live in Florida. I used to live in New York. They are very sensitive to seasonal change, especially your thyroid. So when season change from fall to winter, thyroid gets more sluggish. We also eat more fatty foods. It's very hard for system to digest, and our hormones drop. So thyroid hormone drops, and what people feel, less energy, and also they get more constipated. Like the bowel is not as active. It's so connected. So there are things to do to correct so you can function like you're in springtime. It is very interesting. So yes, we do lots of work first 6 months. It's a lot of work educating the individual, correcting the dots, correcting the issues, rebalancing entire system. Like we do blood work at the end and I show it to them. They know it because they feel the difference. Now we say from point A to P, we brought you to point B. The goal is this. We got so much of this goal. Maybe we've done all of it. It's, I see it all the time. It all depends on the individual, how far they want to take it. Well, this now is time. How can we continue with this knowledge? So what needs to happen? We continuously work with these people. These people usually don't leave. They value the service. They value how we do it. They know that we are always there to support their well-being throughout. So they know already how they have to eat. It's their body. It's not me because I don't like them. No, no, no. They understand their system. So when we are in a process, every 6 weeks, we have specific dietary modifications. So we change them specifically to their need. It's their specific need. It's not me and Vivek's need. It's not two people program. It's individual, very specific. We teach them how to combine food items. And I teach them, you need to eat this and this, and let's see how it's going to be. If this, and this giving you problem, you just eat one. Let's see how you're going to do. So the truth to be told, We are not creating the same digestive enzymes since you were 35 years old. So now you're almost 50 years old. The expectations you're going to digest all the same, you will not. So cells are wearing out, they're aging. What can we do to continuously support that? And when we are working in the beginning, it's people cheat. And it's like doctor's orders. You cheat once a week, one meal, you must. When patients say, I don't want to cheat, I just want to, it's like, no, you got to cheat. It's for your mental health. You got to eat whatever you want and the quantities you want. So you understand how your body likes what you did.
This is, before we go into more details of this, I guess a lot of people think this is perfection, right? And you point this out, and we'll go back to this question too again. But let me take a step back here. How do you, I guess, help them shift from, yeah, I'm now this in healing mode, and now I move into really living mode? Like, because that's the hard part. It's
No.
the, you can go through this, like, yeah, procedure, yeah, I'm going to do the 6 months course and great. But then afterwards, the real work starts. So talk about that really.
Yeah, so it's all about sustaining these beautiful results, and it's not really difficult because we did like hardcore schooling. We already did it. We already educated them. So now we're going to introduce whatever they love to eat and we're not able to eat on the program so much because they were cleaning and repairing. So after we clean and repair, we can reintroduce a little bit at a time and see how body likes it. And I teach my patients, like, listen, we've done so much work. You want to eat whatever you want to eat, and it's great. You're going to eat everything you want. We need to understand how your body likes it and what quantities it can manage it. So instead of cheating once a week, then they can cheat 3 times a week. And I teach them, if you overdid it, how we clean it up very quickly so you don't have so much inflammation. Again, like it's your house, your body is your house. You cleaned it all up. You did new renovation. And then you decided to allow your children to have a party in your house that are teenagers, to bring their entire school. How quickly, when this party has ended, you can clean everything up so your house is still nice and shiny. You see, that's what that is about. How quick can we fix everything so you still your best? So it's about how to do this and still function at your best. It is very sustainable. It's not about perfection. It's nothing in life is perfect. God knows we are not perfect. That's why you're constantly learning. Face is not perfect, right? Nothing is perfect. Being your non-perfect, it's your best self. You do not need to be perfect because if you're constantly perfect, you're going to burn out. And that's what we teach our patients. You cheat. We understand you're human. This one time, you cheat. Let's see how much you ate, what you ate, and what combinations of food you ate. So we can understand how your body can overcome this. And patients know because as soon as you give them an opportunity, they just go crazy. So I had this lovely patient that came because she was not able to conceive. She had very specific PCOS, great results. She definitely decided to cheat and give her an opportunity. When she told me that she ate a quart of ice cream and she didn't want to, my question was, if you don't want so much, why you eat so much? You need to understand your desire. You eat as much as you want to, but if you don't want to, why do you eat it? See? You cheat not for you to force yourself to get something into your system and have bad reaction. And of course, she got bloated and all. 4 days, everything is out of her system. She's good as new again. See, body knows how to self-regulate after you do lots of work. And that's how people learn. It's basically like going to school. Yes, we're making a lots of correction, but you're also understanding how your body is working, how your system is functioning. It's all about this individual. It's not about me. We are a service that does all this great work, and then it's very well sustainable. I also educate my patients on very specific fact. If we would be living in perfect environment, we never need doctors, we never need any kind of medicine, but we are not in perfect world. We are not perfect, and food is not perfect. Produce now is almost nothing. It's empty as it could be, and we spoke about it before. So we're relying on supplementation so our cells can get nutrition. So that's why continuous nutrition supplementation that's guided to specific patients' needs to happen.
Let's go back to again. It's very refreshing to hear that you're talking about you can cheat because I tell you from patient perspective, and this is the biggest burden people take it. That's why people get burnt out. Every time you go on any routine, any protocol, it feels like, we just have to follow so rigidly and it's just so difficult. So that's very refreshing to hear. So tell me a little bit like, I know each body is of course unique and you are working through that, finding out what works for that person. But how do you kind of like get patients to work with that rhythm instead of getting in that rigid routines, right? You gave this example of this one.
So rigid routines are not appreciated, and eating the same thing body does not appreciate. And we stated it very much in the beginning. So I create a dietary modification sheet for patients with so much food item on it. And we tell them and educate them right away, more different items you eat, that is for you. If you can find something your body never had in it, and it's absolutely new, so it's not inflamed to it, it's even better. I have patients eating ostrich, patients eating alligator meat, because it's available here in Florida. You can buy it in the store, it's frozen. You eat it, it will be the best because your body doesn't know it. So it's never going to react to it. So people ideally should not be eating the same thing. So I have this beautiful woman coming to me from New York. She's a little bit older, but very, very nicely health conscious. So what she shared with me that she wanted to lose weight for such a long period of time, and she was on very specific, very rigid diet. And I asked her, can you explain to me what you ate? So she says in the morning is cup of coffee all the time, toast and avocado. Every morning the same thing. Lunch is always chicken breast and lettuce. And she's eating it for 6 months. I was like, okay, so how do you feel? Of course, she says, well, I always had a little bit arthritis. Now it's a little more arthritis. My joint hurts. I'm not surprised because she's constantly eating the same thing. Question is, did you lose any weight? You wanted to lose weight? She's like, no. No matter what I do, it's not coming off. Answer, she's eating the same thing. It's causing more inflammation. Inflammation causes fluid retention. She's swelling and her joints are more achy. So she's on a service for 2.5 months now. And she was so excited to report to me. She's like, can you imagine? I cannot believe it. She said, everybody's jealous of plate of food when I eat because she's the only one on my service. Everybody looks at my plate because it looks so beautiful. It's full of food. She lost for 2 months 10 pounds. She's tiny. She's not a big lady, although this is not a weight loss program. She lost 10 pounds and her ache went away. Yes, she's also on supplements. She's also on peptides. But that's why individual therapies are so important. You are, Vivek, one. I am one. This lovely lady, she's one. She's not one of many, she's one. So this oneness, yes, we're all big community of people, but specifics, one. So understand that we are one person, one kind with specific physiological needs that needs to be met. And that's how these beautiful changes are evident. It's very different.
Do you say this was an example of, you know, people listening to their body versus trying to control it? Because you gave this example, 6 months, there's no change on the weight. The things are going not exactly how you want, but still you're not listening to it, right? So not listening to the body. So I guess how do you tell patients, like how do you pick these signals? What are these signals? What do you tell patients about it?
So I explain it to them. I tell them exactly what it means. So as soon as they come, this initial consultation, this reveal stage, reveal starts as soon as they come into my chair. They sit in my office, we start revealing. How can I help you? And they start. I feel great, but this but, and they start. Okay. So if it starts, well, I wake up in the morning and I take everything is good, but then my breakfast is cup of coffee. I was like, do you have to have coffee or you just like to drink it? No, for my best functioning, I have to have coffee. That means to me, they're not really awake, right? They're tired in the morning. So my question would be, would you say it's correct that you have to have this cup of coffee for you to function better? Is it correct? Oh, yeah, it is definitely correct. Okay. So we already understand no matter how much they sleep. And I ask them, how much do you sleep? Could be 9 hours, but it's not enough because they still need a cup of coffee. This we already know adrenals and thyroid are not working. That we already know this, okay? They're overworn. There's not much energy production. So this is a story. We can go continuously. Okay, how's your lunch? What do you eat for lunch? Oh, for lunch, for example, I eat A, B, C, and F. How does it make you feel? The answer is, oh, I'm bloated at times. It's very hard to digest. And maybe sometimes I feel like I need to go for a walk because it doesn't move anywhere. I was like, okay, do you also have bloating after you ate whatever you ate? Oh, yeah, bloat a lot. Do you make a lot of gas? Yes, sometimes gas, most of the times not gas. So how often do you eliminate? How often do you go to the bathroom for number two? Oh, it's only once every other day, maybe once on the third day. They're just, inflammation in your digestive tract. You see, moving on. Okay, your day is this way. And then what happens in afternoon? Oh, in afternoon, everything is good. But 3 o'clock, I feel like I need to take a nap. More of thyroid adrenal communication broken. They both systems, it's endocrine system not working. Doing examination, I ask them, not all the time. Most of the time it's evident where the fat distribution is. You could see the fatty liver, honestly. You already know that liver is not working. It's struggling before we do blood work. So a lot of things in reveal stage, it's even before blood work, I already tell them what it is. I connect the dots, explain to them. Women come, oh, I lose my hair, my nails are brittle. Okay, my brow fell out. My lips are very dry. I always have to put chapstick. My nails are not shiny anymore. And by the way, I never want to have sex with my husband. Okay, so what does that mean? Hormonal health is out of the window. We have to do a lot of correction. So if a woman needs to use a vaginal lubricant and she's young, she's not at perimenopausal and menopausal, you know already endocrine system and her reproductive health is on the back burner. We know it. It's like nobody should be, God did not make lubricant, okay? We made lubricant. Why did we make it? Because it's such a demand, because lots of people are not great, right? They don't make enough vaginal mucus and for specific reasons, not enough estrogen, progesterone, again, hormones. So we have lubricants everywhere sold and it's like new norm. Where do you buy least toxic vaginal lubricant? The question is, why does she need it? Okay. The question always vice versa. Why does this poor woman need a lubricant? She's only 32 years old.
This is fascinating because I think the way you just told this, it's like within the story, you had pattern recognition, right? And this is the first time I'm hearing in my whole life in physicians or like, doctors or clinicians ever explain it this way. And I think this is a gap. And I'm saying it from a patient perspective. And this is somebody, again, somebody with double masters, lived in 3 different continents. I never seen this explanation so plain and this way. So full credit to you for this. But I think this is the gap that the way you told these patterns, we don't question it. We don't question all those things, the things that you mentioned, right? Like as a patient. So my question to you is, it's while you're making this in your mind, while you're talking to the patient and taking these notes, now, how do you communicate them and then go over these points to get them on board with this? Because people can say like, yeah, it happens. And then it's just like a little bit of back and forth goes, explain me that a little bit. And so that they're ready for the next steps.
Sure. So I practice evidence-based medicine. Yes, I connect the dots. I understand physiology, understand how people physiologically, psychologically, subconsciously function, although you still have to show them evidence. So when we do blood work, and I do tell them, I was like, listen, this is what we uncovered right now, and this is what it is. The process is to do this very specific functional medicine blood work. Once we do this, what I told you here and some more will be evident, and I will show it to you. So they know. And when this comes, results, you'll see it's AI interpreted. Numbers are there. And then there's a specific page with grids: systemic inflammation, digestive inflammation, intestinal parasites, thyroid functional index, adrenal functional index, kidneys function, and all in percentage. And I open it and I show it to them here as what I told you before, but we are evidence-based. So based on this evidence now, not because your story, because story is, comes out of your mouth. Here, I actually have evidence. To this evidence, I can create a plan of care, which I already do by the time they come for review. It's like, this is how we're going to address this. And I tell them, this is step number 1, number 2, number 3, and we do everything the same time. Hardcore detox happens somewhere in month, maybe 4 and 5, depending. Let me explain this to you. So if I see the person is extremely toxic, again by blood work, it is evidence on the skin. You see it, they're not, but also by blood work, it tells us toxicity, systemic toxicity, or even parasitic infestation. If parasitic infestation in percentage are very high, for example, I have a patient right now, she's not able to conceive, she can't understand it. I explained everything to her. It's like, you're worn out and I think you have some guests in you, but we're going to need to do blood work. This AI interpretation, I will show it to you. So when blood work came back, actually, let me correct myself. It's not she's not about to conceive. She wants to go through process of IVF because something up with her husband's side, which she needs to. Okay, so she went through process of egg retrieval and embryo creation. So she done it twice, and not once the embryo worked. Like, embryo had to be discarded. It's very sad. The point here, why? In order for women to create, even for men, to create a beautiful embryo that's going to thrive, woman has to have so much abundance in energy. We're talking about mitochondria. It should be so abundant So when you plug in this embryo into her uterus, it can thrive. It's a plug-in system, plug in, plug out. It doesn't happen though, because she doesn't have enough to put out. Her system is so depleted. When we did her blood work, she is in systemic parasites 60%. So no matter what she eats, she eats for herself and something else eats from her. Nothing is left for reproduction. What is the expectation? You see, it's a very specific way of thinking, understanding physiology, and understanding how this would work. Because for her, it's not just about an embryo. It's about great embryo, great container that will make it thrive. You see? So the program for somebody like her, we need to feed her as much as possible, corrected, like supplementation, food, reduce inflammation, because these parasites also cause a lot of inflammation. She has too much estradiol and too much estrogen, not enough progesterone. And I explained it to her because she was also diagnosed with endometriosis some time ago. And I explained to her, she's like, I don't understand where this estrogen is coming from. But parasites are very highly reproducible beings. So when they reproduce, they also need estrogen. Maybe it's not yours, maybe it's theirs. I do not know. But what needs to happen, we need to support her system very specifically, specific to her, give her nutrition specific to her. And when she's strong enough and she has properly supported system, then knock those things down. Can we clean them? Can we kill them all? We can't. I tell to all my patients, we're going to suppress them because everybody has parasites, honestly, everyone, without exception. The question is how much? You have a little bit, it's okay. You live, they live. Symbiotic relationship. Nobody's struggling. In her system, in her case, this is no symbiosis. They eating too much, leaving nothing to her. Okay? So here, we need to make sure her liver is supported, her kidneys are supported, her lymphatic system is supported for detoxifications. Because if I would give her something to kill them now, she'll get extremely ill. She will be on her couch for 7 days after because she cannot clear this out. She has no energy. Like the house we're talking about, right? You have a house, you have guests, they messed it all up. If you're tired, can you clean it? Do you want to clean it? No, you don't want to clean it. You're going to wait until you sleep, until you eat, until you have energy so you can clean it. The same thing. So for her, this antiparasitic detox going to happen somewhere in month 4, 5. I need to make sure she has energy for it. She fed, she supported enough. How do I know it? She will tell me. She'll say she wakes up not tired. Now she doesn't need to take naps. Now she's desiring sex. Now she looks good. Now she feels good. Now everything is working the way it should. You know, they tell you. You understand now it's an excess. The energy is meeting the need plus exceeding a little. So what I tell most of my patients when they come to the service, we're going to cut down your exercise routine because you are also overusing. Exercise is expenditure. You're wasting energy to something you're not needing because physiology comes first. So all of this understanding, exercise, it's great. I've had a lot of athletes through my practice, through years of practicing, and I had to, the hardest thing for them to teach, to take it easy so we can heal.
This I'm going to go on a little bit tangent here, but this is an important question. I have had several friends and their wives go through multiple cycles of IVFs. And this discussion provokes this thing that none of them is even thinking of these routes, the things that you explained. They just go to the traditional way, right? And neither of those doctors are telling them. And it's just unaware, uneducated, right? These are highly educated people too, but unaware about these things, right? And so now my question is, why in traditional medicine, there's no one to tell about to look into these things? Or how do people find you? I guess that's the question, right? How do more people can find while they're in this cycle, they did it. I know people who've done 7 times, and this is crazy, right? And it's so sad too, because it's like
not good.
years, right? And so it's just like nobody's even telling what's right or what's wrong also. And these are going to doctors, so big institutions. So I guess how would you guide those people? Tell us about that so we can spread this message a little bit more.
So how these people find me, they simply Google search. Or we do, a lot of people now call word of mouth. It's very different understanding of physiology. Your reproduction is not separate system. We don't have a system that's separate from the body. It's all one system. It's one coherent system. But in medical school, that's how people educated. That's why we have all different specialists. It's not the fault of a doctor. It's system problem. You have neurologists separately. You have cardiologists separately. have endocrinologists separately, you have gastroenterologists separately, you have all of this separately, urologists separate, hepatologists is separately. It shouldn't be separate. It's one system. So if doctors have been educated this way, that is how they provide the service. It's not because they want to do bad. It's how they've been educated. My education is very different. I'm constantly learning. In order for me to help an individual, I do lots of research and I see how can we else expand and what else is happening that we are not understanding. So I can get them the best possible result they're looking for. And I always explain to my patients, listen, your fertility, it's a side effect of your well-being. It's not separate. It's together. You're only going to be able to do this when you have abundance in energy. Like storage, we have storage. It's adrenals, it's a growth hormone. It's coming from the brain, it's coming from mitochondria. If you don't have it, do not be surprised. Constantly forcing the system to release this poor egg, the quality will be very different because I've done it all. I remember this young lady came into my service already done. She went through the process where they stimulated her for egg retrieval. She's young. She was like 32 years old, I believe. And twice they did it. All she was able to do, first time, I believe, 4, as much as I remember, second time, 7. Not a great quality. So she was so frustrated, a young woman. And I explained this process to her. She was also a nurse and very eager. I want to do this. I want to do this. I was like, take a break. Why don't we? You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Let's take care of you first. You're going to leave all the stress. You're going to stop tracking your ovulation. You're going to stop forcing your husband to be sexually active with you when you supposedly ovulate. You're going to stop. We're going to concentrate on you. We're going to see how we can optimize you, make you feel good first. It's a feel comes first. See, they got to feel they are better. If they don't feel they are better, then they're not. So I worked with her and actually with her and her husband side by side. They wanted to do it together. They did 6 months. And then I want to do an IVF again. I was like, why? Give it a chance. Your body just went through it. And she still went through the cycle at the end with her old egg. And I said, don't do it because now your fresh eggs will be so much better quality. So she still used an old egg. Didn't work. And then I asked her, I was like, let's just take a break. And you have to promise me you won't do anything. Do nothing. You're not going to track your ovulation. You're not going to do IVF. I'm going to give you a break from everything. You learn so much. 3 months, you do nothing. Guess what? Within 3 months, she got pregnant by herself. Now she's pregnant with second baby by herself. So once we do this beautiful work, we teach patients a lot. We teach so much. This knowledge stays with them. They know what to do. Yes, we support them. So when these women come, we get them to this point. We clean, we regulate, we feed the system. Then we prep them. And it's a lot. We have to understand, is there any kind of trauma? Because doing IVF 7 times, as you're saying, it's very traumatic. If they have to release that trauma so system can understand that making a baby, getting pregnant, having a baby is safe, it's going to do it when everything works well. That has to be always addressed. People don't address that. So we have to find hidden issues as well. So we have great outcome. And then just happens. We support them throughout, help them getting pregnant by explaining to them what the days are best for them. Because it's not what exactly, everywhere it's a little bit different information. Or you ovulate that this day is best. No. Again, some women ovulate so much easier than others. Some release eggs faster than others. A lot of times women don't have enough progesterone. So a lot of times I see just women don't make it. So we give it in certain amounts on certain days of the week. They're on specific herbs. We track them. As soon as they get pregnant, we support the pregnancy. They stay with service. When they deliver, postpartum support. They need it all. Of course, nobody forces them. They choose to stay. If something is happening, very quick phone call or my staff front desk, very quickly, Dr. Yuabova, this patient needs some help. Can you address this question? No problem. Very quick. Everything is quick because that is what they're getting with that service. So it's personalized, concierge, to specific need system in place. We take the guesswork away from it. We take the stress away from it. We do it all. You just follow. It's like we all done for you program.
Is this just how functional medicine works in general, or
No,
is
no,
it
no.
Dr. Marina
It's
Yuabova's?
Dr. Marina. It's how Dr. Marina does it.
Okay.
Yes, the core is it just functional medicine? It's not. It's integrative medicine. Yes, I use functional medicine. I also use Eastern medicine. If somebody needs hormonal support, I provide it in specific way so it benefits the system. We don't say we don't do it. No, 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 we do it. We'll find a way the best so your system functions at best. We find what work for this individual. So yes, patients still need to have their PCP just in case. They need to have to specialists. If somebody has, I do not know, gastric bleed for whatever reason, God knows, they need to have a specialist. But in interim, what I can do to support the system, we do it. 5R method is my method. It's not, people don't function this way. Doesn't mean we do functional medicine that every functional medicine provider does the same thing. So I'm actually going to be in podcast on next week. Somebody invited me. It's actually my patient who came to me for the service. We were not acquainted then. He just came as a patient with very specific issue. So very health conscious man. He's huge. He's just huge. When he came, I didn't see much, but his biggest concern was that he's gaining weight because he's so big. He's so tall, you don't see it, but he knew his body. And he said, well, this is a pattern for me right now, and I'm really concerned. So I asked him, what is your pattern? When he told me, I couldn't believe it. Apparently, by the time he came to me, he only ate 4 days a week. 3 other days he was fasting. Why to do this? So he doesn't gain weight. He said, no matter what I do, I gain weight. It's like, I'm gaining this weight. And to me, again, is like, you are not heavy. I don't see, it's like I see inflammation. I see testosterone is so much low. Before blood work, I see it. I see that his body composition is specific. And I'm still telling him, you are not obese. He's like, yes, I'm not. I'm not obese. But he said that he is always in muscle building and his body does not function. You see, he's listening to his system. It's not working the way it was. And if I used to go to Mexico on vacation, I used to lose weight. Now I'm actually in Mexico gaining weight. So the food isn't, in Mexico is different. So people eat, they really don't gain weight. But now he's gaining weight even in Mexico. So of course I would still, inflammation we always can address, hormonal disbalance we always can address. I wanted to see what else is there. He had very interesting weight distribution. The weight was distributing more around his core. And that means something very specific. And I said, you know what? Next process, still blood work. We are looking for this evidence of what I see. I told him my concerns. We did blood work, and his kidneys were only functioning at 62%. So EGFR, I look for this number. By statistics, World Health Organization, and by function is stage 2 chronic kidney dysfunction disease. So stage 3, 4, you need to go to hemodialysis. So this is where most of these things were coming. He would retain a lot of water. Muscular, yes. Big, yes. But this water retention, and it's not in his limbs and not his legs, it's his core. It's right like around his abdomen. Very interesting. So throughout the program, he eats 4 times a day, 5 times a day sometimes right now. I spoke to him last week. We had this completion of the program. He lost 45 pounds. It's not about how much you eat. It's about what you eat and can your body function. And now his kidney is at 98% of function. So we return his function to norm. You see, it is very different medicine. It's very different process. So, and he constantly says, you gave me my life back. Great. Now maintaining. And again, he knows a lot, and you're going to guide him to support his system so it functions at its best.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so this is for our listeners, take a note. This is not every functional medicine. This is the recipe here. So reach out to Dr. Yuabova for that, of course. What is typical journey looks like? You said about this person, of course, each person is unique, but what's kind of like, taking them from trying to be healthy to getting into this protocol, and then you said he completed the program. Is it some average time people take? Especially you can take example of fertility or this person. What's your how long does it take? Is there some few months, few years? How
No,
does it
no,
go?
no, no, no. Body is beautiful. It reacts so quickly. So patients report to me that they feel so much better first 2 to 3 weeks. It's very
That
quick.
quick? That
Very
quick?
quick. Very quick. You don't have to wait for years. As soon as you start delivering nutrition in a way that body can utilize the nutrition and reducing inflammation, it's very quick. It's not, you don't have to wait for months. No, it's quick enough. It all depends on people. Firstly, they need to have an understanding. They need to follow. Also, they have to be positive. Like all of these things, they need to make sustainable change in their, how they're living. Are they sleeping? If somebody goes to sleep with the phone, we teach them, you need to leave it in different room. The bed is just for you. It's not for the phone. It's not for laptop. Like we teach them. So they have appreciation for this body they have. It is very interesting process, and it's a lot. Again, food. Food is important. Proper food is very important. When patients asking me, oh, do I need to eat organic? No, I don't go for organic, because no matter organic or not, it doesn't have anything in it. So why go for organic? To me, it's no value. Organic food, maybe it's great, but the nutritional value is not there. And we know it already. It's been published. We know it. So people reported that's not much in it. So I looked it up, actually, comparison and tomatoes and oranges. Oranges now are much sweeter. And I think I said it before, but nutritional value is not there. It's just more sugar. So we humans learned, in order to sell, to make it sweeter, but we didn't learn to make it so it's heavy in nutrition. It's just heavy in sugar. It's not our fault. It's not your fault, my fault, or my patient's fault. This is just reality where we're living. And that's the first thing I explain to all my patients. I tell them, you need to understand that you need to replace. We need to replenish. If you would have been living in a perfect environment, perfect world, this replenishment comes from fruits and vegetables. No longer. And that is a big problem, because even if children just eat fruits and vegetables, and they might eat organic, it's not enough. And that's why the ADD, ADHD skyrocketing, because they're so diminished. And autistic spectrum disorders are through the roof. 300% influx from 80s. It's crazy. It's a big problem that needs to be resolved. And I think the big part of it also patient education. That's why we take so much time in educating patients.
And one thing is good. At least we are in this era where more patients wants to learn and learn about their bodies than before. So that's a good thing. That's an optimistic view. Well, this has been great. Before we conclude today's conversation, I want to leave, I guess, the show on more optimistic view, which we should carry. So for someone listening who wants to live the 5 hour method, not just understand it, what is the first or one mindset shift they should start with today so they can start on these things?
So they should start appreciating themselves, number one. This is number one. Second, understand value to themselves, because we have to be valued. So I see a lot of women simply devalued. They either been devalued by somebody else or devalued themselves. Understanding that we are not everlasting and we don't have that battery that just charges itself. We also need breaks, and we need to take a pause. This is very important. We are not robots. So this is what our 5 hour method is about. How can we make that change with respect to the individual? Everlasting change. It's not just for a few months. It's everlasting. Teach this individual how to listen to their body. The body is a suit of your soul. So if you don't take care of the suit, soul will not be happy.
Well, I want to conclude this conversation today, but one message is clear. Healing is powerful, but living well, consistently, and calmly is the real goal here, which means it's not about perfection. It's about the next step is support. How do we support our sustainable living towards making that permanent change? That's what it is, right? So it's not just a small hack you did. I hate the word biohack, first of all, right? Just the word hack, but people are crazy about that. So no hacking here. It's really is a big change. So this is, once again, if you are looking for a sustainable change, if you are trying to find answers for your own health, or you are seeing the problems that we discussed, you can just visit National Wellness Group in Boca Raton in the office and do your reveal consultation with Dr. Yuabova, or visit nationalwellnessgroup.com. And before we conclude today's conversation, one important note: thanks to the viewers and the listeners, because last week the show also ranked 81 in the medicine category in the US on Apple Podcast. So thank you for everyone who's finding this content useful, but also Dr. Yoga, thankful to you for sharing all this wisdom, because at the end,
Absolutely.
like I said, in today's episode also, there was a point where I said that nobody has painted the picture the way you told that story and pattern. And that thing, I think that's the gap we're trying to fill also with this gap, the education part, which is so much missing. So first of all, what's your reaction to getting into the charts?
Great. Hopefully can hear and can learn.
There you go.
There you have it.
There you go. Fantastic. Perfect. Thank you. Well, once again, appreciate your time. This was great. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us. We will see you with the next episode of the 5-Hour Method, and appreciate your time, Dr. Yuabova. Thank you.
Thank you very much.